Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to Randomania for Game 2 in this best of 3 series between CrimsonAvix on your left and chessjerk on your right. As this is Game 2, we do have a remorse flag in play, and that is no mirrored overworld, so nobody is going to be getting vertigo tonight. However, your eardrums might be hurting as you're going to have to listen to me. I am the Greenleaf Effect, and I have brought a very special guest with me tonight. That, of course, is the wonderful, amazing Crystal Saber. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing just fine, thanks.
Excellent. So I'm going to refrain from doing anything technical tonight because I'm probably going to be wrong. But the question I do want to ask immediately to you, sir, is you've played enough of these seeds and you play crazier things than we're going to see here. Is there any flag in particular you want to see these two have to deal with?
Heart Shuffle would be pretty evil, but I think Crim is already going to be mad at you as it is. But I'll still go with the Heart Shuffle.
No, fair enough. He is always going to be mad at me. And we do have the one heart start like we saw last time. So it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play into anything else that they're going to do. Crim immediately forgetting to put file names on and not starting with the with anything particular. We are starting with wood arrows, and it looks like we're going to need Triforces 2, 4, and 5, although that could be 3, 4, and 5, depending on the dungeons. So where we are going to be starting here is down on the coast. Not the best of start screens when it comes to finding open caves to traverse early on to try and find either the wood sword or the Armos item, and we see Crim doing a HUD clip here. So Saber, if you have a start screen down here on this particular setting, where do you tend to want to go first?
I'd first go normally to the very original start cave, because swordless is 50% on, so you don't know if there's a free candle waiting for you in the original wood sword cave, or if swordless is not on, it could have the wood sword, 50-50.
What we do have here is a gray dungeon, and I'm going to put money on this. Looks like second quest level 7 at vanilla first quest level 2.
Based off of where they start at the bottom, I'd have to agree with you.
Yep.
chessjerk is going to start. He found the wood sword.
Okay, so we do have a sword on, no extra candles. The other reason I'm saying this could potentially be second quest 7 is because it normally is this gray color, so dungeon palettes may not be shuffled.
And judging how far Crimson is going to the left, oh yeah, look at that whole entire bottom. If it's not second quest 7, it shapes. But so far with that palette, I must agree with you.
Yeah, and continuing on, we are far off to the right here. Is this second quest 8?
Wouldn't it be funny if Patra had the Triforce right there?
It would be. That Patra unfortunately can't have the Triforce because of the Dark Room. But yeah, it looks like the two dungeons we found initially here are second quest 7, second quest 8, and we do have some new any roads. They are not in their vanilla locations, and this map is going to tell us exactly what we have presumed.
And you are 100% correct. It seems like the dungeon palettes were not shuffled, and we have second quest, at least second half. We don't know about the first half yet. So 7, 8, and 9 will be second quest.
Yeah, second quest 9 I actually like because it's a much smaller dungeon to traverse, and there's not nearly as many staircases you have to play with.
It's kind of funny that second quest 9 is separated for 7 and 8, but yet 7 and 8 feel like they're worse than the first quest versions.
Yeah, all the staircases and the walk-through walls, definitely. Crim has discovered that extra candles are not on, so he did take a save. He's going to go ahead and opt for a retry there, knowing he can come back to that in a little bit. chessjerk continuing his traversal through level 8 here. Unfortunately, no bombs to kill these Dodongos, so he's going to have to go back to the beginning and see where he is at. So another question here. You find these any roads. Are you a person who is going to sit there and take all the any roads first to find out where they go? Or if you find one that takes you to a spot like this northeast corner, are you going to look around first to see what the open caves are going to give you before going back?
If you land in a spot with a lot of open caves surrounding you, you definitely check it out first. And then you return back to the any roads. You do want to clear all 4 because it's a quick clear. It could be bomb walls that you don't have to bomb, which cost time. It could be in Death Mountain for all you know. Or it could be actually really good transports that get you around quickly. Like here, chessjerk, he can go from the coast right to the northeast. Except there's 2 northeast in there.
Right. Well, the other good thing about that spot on the coast specifically is that is right near their start screen, so any overworld deaths aren't nearly as costly. And considering we're starting with 1 heart, it's going to be, definitely something to understand. And I think we might also have hidden health.
Judging by the white hearts, yeah.
So we have seen the vanilla look for second quest and the second quest for level 2 and level 3, which means we are on a first quest overworld, which is good for money because that means we have the 3 large secrets. One other thing is, I believe from what I've seen, is killable item drops are also on. So that's going to be even more interesting. Not as interesting when it comes to having a sword, but I know killable item drops are definitely a thing when all you have to use is a candle.
Oh, Crim, who knows when he's going to go into that wood sword cave. But I think chessjerk will be able to figure it out and make his way around it pretty fast. So Crim is actually checking these... sorry, Crim, I didn't mean to speak bad about you. So Crim was about to check the waterfall area, both the white sword cave and the waterfall. And it's one place that a lot of players don't often check early just because it's a little bit out of the way. But at the same time, they are considered free caves. So if you can go there, it's worthwhile.
Right. I personally am of the belief of if I'm up there, I'm going to check them. And considering that location was easily accessed from any road, there really isn't a reason to go back there right now unless something is going to bring you. And something has brought Crim to another green dungeon, and this looks like the palette for first quest level 3, but it's definitely not because...
It looks like first quest level 5.
Yes.
With that T.
So, I mean, that is one of those things where Tea Room, where it drops, is going to give you a good representation of what dungeon you are in. In that case, because it's in the center part of the T and not on the outside, that only happens in level 5.
And by watching these past races, Jiggly Saint taught me that level 5 and level 6 actually have red water instead of blue water. So that's another good indication.
I did not know that. Yeah,
Trust me, I play and I still forget. But if I'm gotta say it, I can say it.
No, that's fine. When it comes to this game, anything you tell me, I will probably trust. Probably blindly at this point, which is not necessarily the best idea, but...
I will say that they're probably blaming you for this really expensive 26 bombs.
Oh, did you see the 76 candle?
But a really, really cheap key. That is like a blessing almost, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, with 3 large secrets out there, one of the first things as a runner that I always like to consider is what do you want to spend rupees on? Do you want to save it for keys? Do you want to save it for those arrows? Do you want to save it for meat? God knows why. Or do you want to have enough to just constantly keep buying bombs so you don't have to count to 10 all the time?
That's an interesting question, and for me, in this type of seeing a 1 heart start and knowing that we're on a first quest overworld, the concept of buying a blue ring is in the back of my head.
If you can find an early enough money-making game from start, definitely worth the investment for a blue ring. But even if you... Just a blue ring purchase in general. Oh, look at this! chessjerk found the white sword. It's a white sword. All the way in the forest.
I think that might be the first white sword I've seen in these flags in a long time.
I always see them as bombs plus, but you were correct.
You do that to yourself, though.
So chessjerk is going to check vanilla level 2, which I don't like to check usually, unless I know it's first quest. And it's a level, which I think Crim actually found this one earlier.
Yeah, this was second quest 7.
Oh, all the way at vanilla level 2?
Yeah, it's yeah. The vanilla level 2 is an interesting prospect when it comes to checking. Not necessarily because of, you're not sure if it's going to be open or not. It's also pretty dangerous depending on what enemies are on the overworld, because if you get something horrible like Lionels or Wizrobes on that bottleneck staircase up, it can be absolutely miserable getting up there. Although from what I'm seeing, it looks like we've got vanilla enemy posted.
Yeah, it's kind of like in that sweet spot in the middle between their start screen and where their ending roads are. So Crim is trying to farm up bombs because I think he hates you for that 26 bomb purchase, or that 26 bomb shot so far.
You didn't have to have the for the blah 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 at the end of it. He hates me, and just we'll leave it at that. So that the letter that Crim just found there, that's going to be something else that's also going to be able to be considered for purchase. Not necessarily for refilling health, although that is its primary use, but also to remove whatever obnoxious curse the red bubbles place on us in the seed. And it could be swordless, which is the preferred curse that most runners want to see. It could be slow, which is obnoxious, or it could be reverse controls, which is just kind of yakety sax fun.
So either way, it's good to have a safety potion in hand. Especially if you get to level 9 too, you die to Ganon, you're stuck. Every time you die, you always start at 1 heart. In this mode, when you start with 1 heart, you will always return back to 1 heart on upper A or death. Whereas if you start with 5 hearts, you will go back to 3 instead. It's kind of weird now.
Yeah, that is weird. I can kind of get it, but...
So chessjerk's doing the same thing that Crim did. He's leaving level 7. Can't do it much right now. But he did find a key out of it, so +1 for chessjerk right.
Yeah, the thing about those 2 big dungeons right now with Second Quest 7 and Second Quest 8 in play is we've got the Triforce out of both of those dungeons, as Crim has found his 3rd heart. So even though there's still items in those dungeons, you don't want to dig that unless you are desperately searching for something, ladder, bow, etc. And we do have a heart container underneath the Armos item, so Crim now is in the range where if he comes across that white sword, he can definitely try to pick it up, because between 4 and 6 hearts will get that for us. But again, back to the levels for a minute here, you never want to go through 7 or 8 like that, especially with the size of it, with the enemy sets in it, with having to deal with ridiculous amounts of staircases. You're doing everything in your power to avoid digging those at all costs. And avoid getting stabbed in the back from Lionels.
That's almost like the level 2 situation we were talking about earlier with the stairs.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to justify in that situation where level 6 is, because in the vanilla game that you're supposed to, it's level 6, it's supposed to be the quote-unquote 6th dungeon you visit. So by that point, you're supposed to have at least 5 extra hearts from the dungeons. You probably found a couple of the hearts, you can take any ones you want. You may have purchased a blue ring, so your white sword. It's a lot easier to justify Lionels being in that bottleneck because you have the weaponry to deal with.
Except when you get Fred the program and he tells you go over there with 1 heart. So was that a heart container on the coast?
That was a heart container on the coast.
Wait a minute, is that... Yeah, does that mean what I think it means?
Combined with the heart container that's at the Armo statue, it does mean what you think it means. You got your wish.
Yay, don't burn me.
No, they'll burn me. It's fine. So Crim is going to come across his white sword here. He's going to hope he can pick it up. And look at that, a 4-heart white sword. He's definitely going to be very happy about that. Increase the damage capability he has. Make things a little bit easier, especially with this, ridiculous hidden health 1-heart start. The increase in firepower, absolutely fantastic to have.
And normally getting the magic sword, it's like a really late game thing. Once you get the white sword, it's pretty much considered your end game, unless you pick up a lot of hearts in this heart shop.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And with Heart Shuffle on, it's definitely a possibility to get up to magical sword range. The other thing I do want to point out is, for those wondering the power of the magical sword, or the white sword, I have it on good authority that you can, in fact, beat this game with the white sword and do it in an extremely fast time. Something like, sub 30 minutes.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but Crimson buys that really expensive candle, knowing that he probably needs a candle to explore, and we have not found any free candles in the open caves.
Yeah, so the only other possible candle that could be there, it could be free, is going to be the red candle, and unfortunately that's going to be in a dungeon, and more than likely it's going to be in a dungeon blocked by a candle cell.
So chessjerk is in level 5, I believe, which Crim first found without the sword, and it's actually a pretty good dungeon, because more likely than not, it's going to have more keys, like free keys for you to collect. So by the time you finally finish this whole dungeon, get the item, and yeah, there you go. By the time you get the item, you get the Triforce, you're probably going to end out with like 5 keys at least, which is going to help so much with every other dungeon.
We've also got a gold level up here. 4, 6, we'll figure it out in a minute.
Well, at least the drops are shuffled. The Triforces are not in the Triforce rooms this time. So we don't know where the Triforces are going to be, except they won't be in dark rooms. And a simultaneous death on both sides. Oh dear.
That was good. That was good. So we've got ourselves some dark nuts in the dungeon that Crim is currently in. Also, Saber walking to the waterfall. And actually, that's good advice in this seed, because I'm not sure if you saw it on chessjerk's side as he's spinning around. The waterfall's where the magic sword is in this seed.
Well, I guess it's kind of a helpful hint.
Yeah, but confirming now that Crim is in level 4 with that eyeballs.
Right. If you have first quest or second quest and you look at your map and you know where the holes are in the original maps, the holes will continue to exist in the randomizer. So 4 and 5, both Triforces we need. Both are... we have our first item.
We do. We have got some logs in level 5. Oh, that's fun for Crim.
Oh.
Avoids a room full of blue dark nuts only to find a Patra.
In Ganon's room. So that means Ganon and Zelda are shuffled.
That is good.
I haven't seen that in forever.
No. And Crim has found himself a little bit of a ladder block there, because based on where that key spawned, that was the tea room.
What would you prefer, to have Ganon and Zelda shuffled and not shuffled for 9?
I like them not shuffled because... shuffled. Because it's always fun to, for me anyway, to go in and find it. Oh, hey, I made it all the way in. Oh, Zelda's ladder blocked.
It's always a small possibility, unless we have an extra flag that says extra quirks.
Yeah, so to me, that's something I want to see. Is I want the possibility to have those fun things, because not only Zelda ladder block is a thing. I have had a seed before where I found the path to Zelda. I'm going in. It's great. I'm going in from the left side, and she was in a vertical chute.
Well, chessjerk picks up our first Triforce at level 5, so it seemed like it was accessible without any items. He's going to immediately check this spot with his raft, and behold, we actually have a level. And judging by the color palette, I'd say this is 3. First quest.
Based on that hint, I'm going to agree with it's 3, because that hint you get in Vanilla 3. So all of our hints are going to be in their Vanilla dungeons. Another way to figure out which dungeon we're dealing with here.
So first quest, first half, second quest, second half.
Not my preferred way of having them laid out, but you do get the reward, in quotes, of second quest 9.
This is true without first quest 7.
Right.
So 3 is a pretty good dungeon to find if it's first quest, especially kind of where to starting. Well, no, not really. If you were starting in the center, it would probably be best. But 3 is, I consider it a really small dungeon, just because once you get to the center, you can branch out different ways. If there's a locked door at the bottom, you can always go up or right and explore just as many rooms, basically.
Right. So you said first quest 3 is a good dungeon to find. Why are you specifying first quest 3 over second quest 3?
I don't like meat blocks. If I see second quest 3, it's very tiny, but there's always the chance of a meat block, and it always frightens me. Whereas 3 is more inviting.
Okay, I can get behind that. I can absolutely get behind that. I am of the persuasion that, yes, while I agree meat blocks are absolutely atrocious, I love finding second quest 3 because that dungeon is so small.
When I was saying first quest 3, I was mainly comparing it to, like, say, first quest 2, for instance, and 1. Recently, 1 has been key blocked a lot, and 2, you kind of have to go all the way up and then all the way down, and then maybe some windy curves and use bombs. 3 is just have fun.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the last time these two raced, level 1 was hard ladder blocked.
Oh, jeez.
And unfortunately for Crim, dying 3 times in that shooter keys room and is rewarded with absolutely nothing. CJ, on the other hand, is rewarded with some breakfast food, gets himself a power croissant in the basement of 3.
So Crim does know what the Triforce is, but before he leaves this dungeon, he wants to at least see if he can get the item, and the dungeon says nope, get your Triforce and get out of here.
Crim with some Bo Jackson level of dodging there, as he picks up the Triforce out of level 4, evening our Triforce counts yet again.
So because the power bracelet spots have been shuffled, that means the power bracelets, any roads have been shuffled. The power bracelet spots have been shuffled, so theoretically there could be a dungeon there. So chessjerk has more of an exploratory advantage, but we don't exactly know if it's going to be advantageous or not.
Right, well, yes and no on the exploratory advantage, because chessjerk still hasn't purchased his candle yet, whereas Crim has. I mean, CJ does have the money now to purchase a candle. He's probably beelining right there, going to the any road here, but having not...
Crim, that's not a bush.
Yeah, Crim's still on Mirrored Overworld, burning the wrong bush.
It could be shuffled secret spots, who knows? Or the flag's probably no.
Yeah, that's an interesting flag, but we're not going to mention that flag at all right now because that's just going to confuse people. I'm already confused.
And chessjerk gets his well-deserved bombs from those ugly, ugly moblins. Always good to get those random traps.
Yeah, it's always... I'm a big fan of, you're on your one last bomb and you're on Death Mountain, you stop counting, you're like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, look, bombs! I can stop counting now.
That happens more times than not.
Yeah, or then you get to the 9, you place the bomb, and then something hits you right before the explosion, and then a bunch of profanity comes out of your mouth.
I just had a thought. chessjerk went into 3, and he finished 3. No. Yeah. Crim went into 4, he finished 4, but he was ladder blocked. chessjerk, did he find a heart container? Or the heart container floor drop item?
No, chessjerk does not know Heart Shuffle is on currently.
So he hasn't made it all the way up to the Armos yet.
No, he has not, but he has found level 1, which you're looking for floor items in 1 anyway. So this, if he finds a heart first, that could give him some information.
As long as he remembers that ladder heart, but I'm assuming he will. Whereas these old ladies just don't like Crim and want to steal his money.
Well, nope, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice.
And we found the first large secret. Hey, everything's coming up Crim. Next he's going to find a dungeon. Okay, burn me.
Burn the witch! Burn the witch!
100 secret, a little below average, and then we found a level. So this is the second golden colors. I'd say this is level 6.
I would agree with you considering the start. So we're in the tail up here. So CJ did find a heart on the floor in 1. He's probably right now under the assumption it's the normal heart. So it's going to take him a little bit to get to the point where we are under the knowledge that Heart Shuffle is on. And this is interesting with this secret that Crim's found, because he now knows the staircase in 6 is just a troll to that one room. So he doesn't have to go into it unless that's, of course, where a Triforce would be if he needed it.
Yeah, I'm still confused when it comes to those rules. If it's a staircase to that one room, well, it is a staircase to that one room, in level 6, a staircase usually does not have an item in the same room. But second quest stairs do have items in staircases. So I don't know if those could shuffle into the scenario or not.
Well, if dungeon rooms shuffles are on, because we have second quest 7 and 8 and 9 in the mix, it's definitely a possibility. There are first quest staircases that have items, because I believe the corridor staircase in 8 has a drop. Also, speaking of drops, we have got the bow in level 1 in the basement, and considering we already came equipped with arrows, that's going to increase CJ's offense a little bit.
And if he ever runs into any Gomer blocks, you can take him down. Or any Pulse Voice, for that matter, because I think level 5 had a room full of Pulse Voice. He avoided it, but now if he goes back or sees more, he can just kill him one shot.
Yes, Pulse Voice. One of my favorite things is having to kill a room full of Pulse Voice with a sword to get to the bow.
It's always a good feeling, actually. It's like, it feels more rewarding that way. Another use for that bow is to kill gorillas from far away if they keep throwing that boomerang in your face.
Yeah, there's that too, and we do have another ladder block there in level 1. So unfortunately for chessjerk, still does not have the information about Heart Shuffle. Good news for chessjerk, though, does have the bow. So if the flag for Red Ring and Silver's being forced to 9 is on, then he definitely is at a decided advantage right now. And speaking of level 9, you speak its name, and it will shall speak into existence.
And now we say, bye level 9, we're not ready for you yet. Saber's setting up.
Yes. Wait, is Saber making a Sabers in 9 joke the kind of Chuck Norris making a Chuck Norris joke?
So Crimson is on his way to the Dead Woods, and he's about to find the same levels that chessjerk did. Whereas chessjerk is making his way up to the through the grave, so he's going to find out his news about the armless item finally. And that's going to clue him in that Heart Shuffle's on, and then he's got to decide what to do. Whether he wants to dig more in dungeons, or just hope that silvers are 9 and that's it. He doesn't need ladder or anything else. Because it is possible that they can get the last Triforces, go into 9, and ladder is not required, whatever. Just Ganon could possibly not even be required. So right now, chessjerk, if he gets those 2 Triforces, or Crim gets his 2 Triforces, they could just bum rush it to 9.
Yeah, absolutely. The big thing is right now is we have more information than our runners do on both sides of it. Unfortunately for CJ taking a death, there's not discovered the heart container. Level 2 still is missing in action right now, although Crim is going to find level 1 right now, so that bow advantage that chessjerk has is very quickly losing its tension. So continuing on, Crim is definitely going to have an advantage here in this level 1 as compared to chessjerk because of that white sword.
Oh, Crim. He's trying to kill those poor gorillas with the white sword, which is going to be much faster. But every time a gorilla drops something, he keeps shooting the heart. And because it's killable drops, it keeps getting in the way.
Yeah, I love the way the killable drops work, because you kill a heart to get a heart to get a heart to get a heart to get a fairy.
I've always been under the assumption that you can kill droppable items to get bombs, for instance. I have never seen that myself.
The ins and outs and intricacies of this game, I don't fully know. In Crim, that's a candle, not a bomb. You actually have to blow up the wall. You can't just melt it.
Maybe Ganon got lazy with the walls. So chessjerk is in 4, I believe, and he's going to find out the same news that Crim found out, that he's going to be ladder blocked in this one. So it seems like a lot of the dungeons our runners are finding are ladder blocked. However, only one that matters is 2 right now, because that's the only one we know we haven't seen, so we don't know if we can get the Triforce out of.
Exactly, because the Triforce here in 4 was accessible, as Crim does in fact have it, and does not have a ladder. Also, that's a great comment from chat. Quote, "Rupees are in the fairy dropping group."
I believe Crim is gonna find his bow. Yes, it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to even things up on at least that side of things. Crim still has the advantage in firepower with that white sword. So Crim has found a heart container, found the bow. Maybe he ends up surviving here and finding things, or maybe we missed something and the second item in one is up in the little shrug section of the eagle.
Whether chessjerk took that key door that Crim saw on his left.
Taking that key door is a hard sell with only one key.
If anything, at this point, if you wanted to see what's in there, probably save and then use it. But, I mean, it's so far away from the start, it's not worth it right now. Come back later.
But looks like Crim is going to take it because he's making his way over there, so...
Oh, that's a big risk. Oh, no!
No. Well, I mean, considering we haven't found the drop yet, that could be a reliable hint.
What?
Unfortunately for chessjerk, discovering the same thing that Crim discovered is that room full of fires has nothing. So let's see if Crim decides he wants to attempt to pull off a Kanana key here. And it looks like he's trying to sell.
So he's just waiting for that rope to come into view, beam it, and then as you're walking into the key door, while the shutter is opening, you just go right through it. However, he cannot do that in this room.
Because there is no shutter door.
So you can do that if there's a bombable wall as well, but it's much trickier to set up.
Yeah, that requires some crazy precise timing.
Yeah, and usually you have to be right on the actual half tile on both up and bottom. So then right as you place the bomb, you just book it to that door. So Crim found his ladder block in one, and pretty much our runners have the same information right now, except Crim does not know he can get the Triforce out of 5 because I think his first visit, he did not have the wood sword.
Yeah, he came across that, I think, with maybe a bomb in his inventory. So yeah, he'll get back there eventually, knowing he needs it, but he's gonna find himself level 9, and it wouldn't surprise me if from here he's gonna transition over to the grave and probably up to the Death Mountain area to try and find level 2, because you know where 5 is. It's pretty close relatively to where you're gonna start compared to Death Mountain, and if you can find 2 up there and get the Triforce and the items out of 2, it's a big thing.
I have this feeling it might not be up there. I'm not sure.
Well, you've already predicted 1 level being found, so
where
we go? Where is it? Where is it?
I don't know. Wait, do you want me to be nice to them, or do you want me to be not nice to them?
I mean, this is me, so I want it to be under the recorder, and the recorder be very deep and innate.
Okay, I'll go with recorder like. How about that? Just because.
I'm just going to say right now, if we find level 2 at Recorder Lake, I'm going to suggest that you just drop out of this call right now, run down to your nearest convenience store, and buy a couple of lotto tickets.
You placed the idea in my mind, okay? Oh, Crim, no, that's the second time. I'm sorry.
Not as bad of a death for Crim, because he already discovered the Armos item and such. The only thing that's going to prevent him from doing is checking the bombable spot down by the off-colored Armos, and don't you hate it when a lever just pops up underneath you?
Yeah, I hate that. If I was Crim, most likely, if he was definitely dead set on Death Mountain, I would save right here just to save those bombs. Just in case for some reason you can't force it or you can't get a lucky random.
He may be going back to 5.
That's not the way to 5, though.
No, it isn't. It is the back door to Death Mountain. It's also the front door to the waterfall.
chessjerk is checking up these earlier areas now that he has a candle. I forgot if Crim... Crim must have explored all this, because he already did Candle Row and he found that one dungeon. So yeah. chessjerk will soon, and I'm assuming he's going to do the same thing in Vale.
Yeah, he found level 6, gave it a quick look around, and said, "Nah, I'm good." Like right here, level 6.
Yeah, if it's shape 6, you always want to get out of there. If it's level 1, quest 1 and quest 2, it's not that bad, really.
No, like second quest 6 is interesting in the sense of it always feels like you're segmented, even though the full dungeon's connected, because you can't bomb into either the top or the bottom half. But it's not as bad as like second quest 4, for example, is a real pain just because it's so big.
You walk through walls, you have no idea
Oh yeah.
where to go. Krim is going to check out the top part of Death Mountain. I believe we call this Eastern part.
Yeah, Eastern Death Mountain, Upper Death Mountain, the fun part of Death Mountain, the only part you see in the speed run.
The forgotten part of Death Mountain. Oh, that would be a third time, Krim. I'm sorry. I think
I'm not.
I don't know. Like, I know when it comes to those level 9 spots, if there are dangerous enemies on there, I would attempt to try to screen scroll around, try to go for the open cave first, and then try to go for that bomb spot, just to be a little bit on the safer side. Because if you screen scroll and you go to that open cave, there's never going to be an enemy in front of you, unless there's a lever and you stall it for some reason.
I just stall because I'm horrible at screen scrolling. So chessjerk is going to go ahead and do a little more exploring in this 6 than Krim did. I think Krim decided he was not going to go up here because he was minus keys and bombs, or may just decide he didn't want to go through and waste the resources on a dungeon he already had the Triforce for. And knowing Krim and knowing what he's talked about in these seeds before, that doesn't surprise me at all, because he very much, and he has said as much in these seeds, is in this set of 5s in particular, he very much is I'm going to blitz 9 as fast as I can and get the information about that. So seeing him avoid these dungeons that he already has the Triforces for does not surprise me in the least. Also does not surprise me to see him exploring that level 1, because it's level 1. And, well, there's disgusting level 6.
The blue banana is pretty good when you have 1 heart, but because they're not on Oko, I think it's reasonable at this point to skip it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to help out a little bit with stunning things and making the overworld easier to traverse, especially with the 1 heart start. But yeah, at this point in the seed, I agree. I'm always going to agree that taking the blue boomerang is the wrong choice anyway, but
I always play it ear by ear. If it's early on, or you know what, if I see it and it's in front of me, I personally don't care, but I know a lot of other runners do, because if you play with Select Swap, it's an extra item you have to cycle through. But if you accidentally land on the boomerang, worst case scenario, you're stunning an enemy.
I'm weird in the sense of, when it comes to, if I'm in a tournament race, I'm a highly competitive person. So when I'm in a tournament race, my mindset is, I'm here to win. I'm playing to win. If picking up the usurper is what is going to help me win, I'm going to do it. That being said, if I'm playing a casual run, I don't touch it.
For me, if it's there, it's there. If it's in the staircase, and that's not what I need to complete the game, usually I don't pick it up. Unless it's okay.
Krim finding more and more the fact that he really likes Lionel swords to the face.
Okay, bye, Fury. So chessjerk is searching this level 6, I'm assuming, for a floor item at this point, because he doesn't need the Triforce, and he found the blue boomerang in here. Unless he's looking for extra keys, but I doubt that, because 6 is not really known for its keys.
Yeah, no, this is interesting because
Man.
Poor Krim. Poor Krim.
Sorry.
At this point, I just am under the impression that blue Lionels have an aversion to onions.
I think chessjerk is stuck. Yep, he knows that he's going to up an A. There was no getting out of that. There's spikes with 3 hearts. Speaking of 3 hearts, chessjerk is on 3 hearts, so he still hasn't been able to pick up that white sword. So Krim has the offensive capability right now, but I guess Krim also has the explorative advantage as well, because he got the candle early, so he's already checked all the spots that chessjerk is checking right now.
Yeah, the big thing for chessjerk right now, though, is he does have 235 rupees, which is something to keep in mind that does put the blue ring in play if he wants to. Crim, on the other hand, spending the little bit of rupees he has to get 26 rupees per 4-pack of bombs. Looks like you're going back for round 3 of Death Mountain.
At this point, I can't blame him. He's checking everything else that he hasn't checked yet. But that 0 key count would have me worried regardless. If you find a dungeon on Death Mountain with 0 keys, it's always a bad feeling when the first door is a key door you can't unlock.
Yeah, I mean, from Crim's perspective, and speaking of money, there is chessjerk with the full complement of 255. From Crim's perspective, the only 2 dungeons he has not found are levels 2 and 3, both of which key doors is the only thing that's going to scare you because all of those walls are paper mache. You can bomb in every direction in both of those dungeons. So from that perspective, you're at least a little bit able to breathe easier because of that. And like you said earlier with 3, you can go a lot of directions depending on where you enter with 3. The same can be said for where you enter with 2. If you enter somewhere along the middle of that moon spine, then you have 3 directions you can go. So you're not as scared of the key blocks.
I agree with you there. So I guess that makes sense to go searching for more dungeons. So yeah, so I guess Crim is feeling pretty good right now. I'm assuming as long as he gets past the Lionels, thank you. In these Lionels, please.
I mean, I don't think he's feeling pretty good. I think he's still cursing my name every chance he gets.
I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, if there's a Lionel on the screen, just back away a little bit. Just a little bit. Or stay on the edge of the screen at least, you know? What really bums me about that death is he was already at the top left corner of Death Mountain, so he only had a few more checks to do there before he got his full information. But did he get all of his bombs back? Or no?
He never used any bombs. He never placed a bomb before he died.
Dear. Okay, that explains it.
And chessjerk finally making his way over to the Armos container, or Armos heart container. So now, if he didn't know before, he does 100% know now that Heart Shuffle is on. Crim making a pit stop at the fairy fountain, and that's probably the smartest move he's going to make if he's planning on Death Mountain take 2432.
After that, was that the last large secret for chessjerk? Oh my god! So chessjerk, he found the last 2 large secrets, one at 235 and one at 255.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about that is he purchased a potion, and now is back to full rupees again. So now that he's got a potion in his back pocket, again, like I said, blue ring firmly in play here. Or you can just start machine gunning Lionels. Also works.
And if he doesn't have a white sword, I mean, that's a quick way to take him out. So now that chessjerk is picking up his 6th container, I bet he's going to go right for that white sword.
Yeah.
Because he's 100% guaranteed for it.
Absolutely. And this is an interesting play here because, yes,
or
he's
not.
only at 2 bombs. Oh, he's stopping to buy bombs first. I was going to say, I found that interesting because he was only at 2 bombs, but he was already on Death Mountain. So the fact that he up-A'd to just go pick up the white sword, I found interesting. But because he also has a bomb shot mark, that makes a little more sense.
That, and if he's expecting a dungeon on Death Mountain, might as well get the most offense now.
You're not wrong there. Also, Crim with a beautiful, unintentional forced bomb, I would say. Killing the Lionel, getting the bomb, and getting himself into that cave where he did find a blue ring.
Yeah, but with those 2 power bracelet blocked large secrets, I don't think we're going to see Crim getting those anytime soon. Unless something is required like the ladder or the recorder. And then he starts digging all the dungeons, finds a power bracelet.
Well, we've got no level 2 on Death Mountain, so I think we've seen most of the power bracelet spots.
And I think chessjerk has seen both ref spots already. Uh-oh.
Because that means there's only 1 spot left.
Have they checked the bottom left of Deadwoods?
They might not have done that.
Somebody has, I think. I think it might have been Crim.
Yeah, but I mean, that Recorder Lake level 2 looking awfully good right now.
It is. So at this point, I wonder if that's what Crim's thinking. And now if you ruled out most spots and you know it might be or is a Recorder Lake, where do you actually go from here? Do you, for me, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I don't know. For me, I always like to go where there's more than one item. So even though Second Quest 8 is bad, I would run right for that. Right.
Well, in this situation, the first place I'm going is level 5 because you still need the Triforce out of 5.
Oh, for Crim, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for Crim, I'm going to 5 first, just to dig that, get the Triforce. At that point, then I agree with you. Go to where your highest item density is, which in this case, unfortunately, is Second Quest 8.
The other option I like to do is once I'm in that kind of mentality where it's like, oh shoot, I have to go redigging dungeons, what's the closest I'm going? Or I just look at my tracker, see a number, I go right for that one. Like at this point, you don't know, because it's Heart Shuffle. All the dungeons have at least 2 drops. One being the floor heart, which is in this case shuffled, could be a floor heart again, and one in the staircase. Level 1 and level 8 are the ones with 3, but I think both our runners already checked level 1 and got 2 items out of there, so I don't see them coming back for that 3rd item anytime soon unless they have a ladder, and then they think it might be a really quick check.
Right. I mean, Crim opting to go back to level 6 here, which I find interesting, and he seems to be hesitating a little bit, realizing, wait a minute, gonna make back up. This isn't the place I want to be.
I wonder if he was looking... No, he couldn't have been looking for 4. He knows that's completely blocked. I wonder if he's confused. So there's 5 and 8 around him right now. And it looks like... Or he's just gonna keep exploring. Or right into 8.
Yeah, I mean, doing exactly what you said, going into the dungeon with the highest item density, which I do find interesting here. I do find it interesting that he hasn't gone back to 5 yet, and yeah, the map gonna be confirming what we already knew. Yeah, this is Spiral.
I've learned my lesson. If you're in Second Quest 8, you want to track this dungeon. There are too many staircases to count. Was it 5 staircases? In total?
A lot.
5 staircases, 4 bombs, and 2 W's. I forgot what W's were. Walkthroughs, there we go. It's evil.
Yeah, it very much is evil. Although I will say, watching the Second Quest speedrun and watching level 8 get just absolutely eviscerated is always a pleasure.
Yeah, at least in the Second Quest speedrun, like, level 8 has all the goods. Nanny key and a wand. What more could he ask for?
Exploding wand.
Book plus.
Book plus, yeah. I'm still waiting for Fred to implement the boomerang, where you pick up the book and the boomerang has the bomb explosion.
No, Jiggly.
Really? Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm trying to think. If you had 8 blue Wizrobes on a screen, and you have lined them up perfectly with that boomerang, you might soft lock the game. Or hard lock the game.
I'm okay with this.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to lie, one of my favorite things to do when 0 HP enemies is on is to get 0 HP Moldorms and just boomerang the ever-loving crap out of them.
And my favorite part is trying to find Keese and blowing him up with a boomstick.
That's also a good one.
I mean, they won't leave you alone anyways. Crim's gonna go take a staircase and... What do you know? There's Keese. What if Fred randomizes what's in the staircases? So you got, like, Stalfos shooting beams and Lionel's walking at the bottom. And up the stairs.
You know, I'm going to say to you the same thing I've said to a lot of people recently in the feature suggestions section, is, did you ever think about the fact of just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yes.
Okay.
So when can we have this feature? If it's crazy, if it's different, I love it. Okay, Krim is going to find staircase number 5,812.
Nope, he's ladder blocked, so his only progression through 8 right now is through the Patra.
Okay, you can't... Okay, I want to know if you can go up or not.
Yep. So CJ did unlock the door into the upper section of level 1. Unfortunately, only rewarded with a key for a key.
Was chessjerk blocked off? Oh, chessjerk and Krim blocked off on the left side of level 1?
The Eastmost Peninsula section. So the Aquamentus is where Aquamentus' room normally is, was a Chevy.
Right, because I'm looking at chessjerk's map and he's missed like 2 or 3 rooms to the left. I wonder if they were key locked.
Wouldn't surprise me if they were key locked. Yep.
Well, chessjerk is probably under the same assumption right now that he has to go digging into these dungeons and try to find... Well, for him, he knows it's got to be a recorder, if it is the fact, because he has the power bracelet and the raft already. And it's a book, but it is an atlas. Which, because we have first and second quest, second.
It's not the best.
It also tells you that there's no boomstick this seed.
Yes. Krim has now made his way into level 5, which, at least for him, is good because he can attempt to get himself a Triforce here. And lucky for Krim, this is just a brackets room.
Where's the rim shot when you need one?
Oh, yeah, so Krim is going to need the raft here out of 5 because I forgot 3 was on the raft spot.
Correct. However, 3 was not required yet that we know of. So Krim doesn't know that, but he's gonna probably use that raft immediately because right now that's his only way of progressing on the overworld. And he will immediately find level 3 because it's right there.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen all of the items in 3 yet, but there's a good chance that with arrows and keys and bombs that we probably will see.
It almost looked like chessjerk and CrimsonAvix were in the same room with the river, just in different dungeons.
Just a little bit different color palette, that's all. So I like what Krim's doing here, trying to find himself the path of least resistance to places, and using the key to get over into the right-hand side of this 5, so he has both up and down directions to go. I very much do like that, especially when you are resource-strapped like he is right now.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to spend any resources if you don't need to. Well, unless the enemies just keep giving you free bombs like that Gibdo, then go bomb crazy.
I mean, bomb crazy is always a good time.
So, chessjerk, I guess, is the upper part of this level 3 where the item is?
Might have to be. Krim finding a mugger room and knows that because he came in through the top, there's no need to worry about it right this instant, so is instead going to make his way around and find other things. He did find the Triforce there, so he knows how to get to that. Now it's just a matter of he's digging for the other item.
And chessjerk finds a weird item within a Gibdo. Decides to take it and run with it. The wand.
I mean, I suppose running with fire is better than running with scissors, right?
Debatable.
Well, if you're me, yes. First of all, why am I running?
Second of all, who set you on fire?
It was probably a balloon.
With helium? Or gasoline? I don't know.
Yep.
Gasoline? What the heck?
No, just fill a balloon with propane and light it with a match. Fireball. No, please do not do what I just said to do. That would be a bad idea.
I'm sorry, I already wrote it down.
Well,
chessjerk, you have the bow? Yes, there you go. Kill those bunnies.
And that's a lot of fairies there as those bunnies all die at once. Crim is also making his way through 5. Found the bomb upgrade. Unfortunately, he does not have the money to afford it. chessjerk, on the other hand, certainly does. And the infinite sword beams right now, Crim putting them to fantastic use. Just standing here and just stabbing away and killing Darknuts.
And that heart that was in the way. They kept transforming into a heart, into a heart, into a fairy. Oh dear. I remember when Fred was talking about his timed mode, and there's a mode where enemies always drop items. So if you combine it with killable drop items, if a drop is in front of you, in front of those beams, you can never get past that for a while.
Yeah, that's interesting. Fun, though. Yeah, that's where you hope it eventually turns into the fairy, and you can just have it fly away. Also, I'd like to point out that in that room that Crim was doing some Darknut killing in, goes to grab the fairy, accidentally killed it, and died.
So Darknuts and Lionels, not friends right now, for Crim.
Are Darknuts ever... Also, that was a beautiful screen scroll from Crim. Gets the sword beam off, does the scroll, and the sword beam kills the Octorok in his way.
Nice. So, swag points for that. So Crim finally finding level 3. He doesn't know that this place is barren, but at least he found a new dungeon, so he's going to explore it, hoping to find a ladder or a recorder.
Yeah, the one good thing for Crim here is, unlike CJ, he didn't pick up the book. So the wand is going to be slightly more beneficial for him because he's not going to have to worry about burning himself. Although I'm not going to lie, I do enjoy the smell of caramelized onions.
There are no onions in this game, only bacon.
No, Crim's playing as the Onion Knight.
Ah, that is true. I forgot, I apologize.
Yeah, that's fine. Everyone gets one.
Everyone gets wand?
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so both players have the wand now, but Crim has not found the staircase item, so he's gonna keep searching. Whereas chessjerk is beating up these evil Darknuts that took Crim down and says, you know what, you hurt my friend, get out of here. Now where's your item? And where's your money?
Not there. The item was not there.
So 56 minutes have passed by. When you're these two runners, what are you thinking right now? Are you thinking that your opponent made a better turn than you have? Or do you think they might be in the same boat as you?
I'm pretty sure both of them are thinking the exact same thing, and that's why do we let TG touch the bot? But in this scenario here, considering how crazy things have been, considering the fact that one of the levels was blocked by a raft, I think both runners are probably feeling behind right now, simply because, especially Crim, considering how late he found the raft and how he went and did a full dig at Death Mountain. So if I'm both of these runners, both of them are probably feeling behind. And to answer the question in chat, how do you get the Onion Knight sprite? That is a custom sprite that CrimsonAvix designed himself and made a file of, so that is a personal sprite. You will see a couple people running around with custom sprites, which are awesome. I think Belletta has a slime from Dragon Crest. Liquid Husband has Bo Jackson from Tecmo Bowl. Crim has the Onion Knight. So yeah, some people have their own custom sprites that they have created to put in the game. I mean, I'm biased. I play as a Wizrobe, but my personal favorite is still Cotton Candy Princess.
No bonus points here. But Crim does get his power bracelet
I'm
out
trying.
of here. So he does have 4 additional checks right now, so he's just going to immediately run to the closest power bracelet spot and say, hello, are you in my dungeon? No? Okay, I'm moving on to the next one. He's going to find both large secrets, which is going to top him off at 255 immediately, pretty much. And then he has the decision to make, where the heck is it not ladder blocked?
That's a very good question. And at this point, you've been, well, that's the second item in 5. That's the any key. So that narrows off half the issues right there with the key issues that our runners have both been having. But at this point, you've been fading Second Quest 7 and Second Quest 8 so long that you have to do one of those. And I think if you're Crim, you're going to go back to 7 because you don't want to deal with that patch rate in 8.
Or at least you want to bring a potion with you, which I'm not sure if Crim has one. I remember you saying that chessjerk did buy one, so he has one in his pocket.
Yeah, no, chessjerk has to have a potion in his pocket. Crim does not. Crim does have an off to rock to the face.
Why is chessjerk back at 6? He didn't finish it?
I think he'd rather finish, because he died with a couple of rooms left up in the top of the dragon there. I think he'd rather check the last 3 rooms in a Gorilla-infested 6 than check the rooms he hasn't checked in 7 and or 8.
That's always a tough call to make. Like, yes, it's true, you know where a remaining item can be, but at the same time you have to get there. Whereas in a different dungeon, every room is a chance for glory.
Right. I probably would be in either 7 or 8 right now, just because it's someplace new that I haven't been. But I can't blame CJ for doing this.
No, I mean, he get it off the list of checks, for sure. And you gotta think, like, will Crim be doing the same thing, or will he make the more logical play? Go where the density is higher enough.
Looks like Crim is going to go ahead and put those any roads back to use as soon as the P-Hats decide they want to stop converging them.
So Crim is going to do the screen scroll here, and he's going to make his way up to the power bracelet next to the grave. And I believe that will be his last, or no? Probably the one next to the fairy fountain might be his last.
Nope, he got that one already. I have one of the 2 large secrets. He's going to find the second large secret here. And then he has a choice to make. He can go purchase a blue ring, which wouldn't surprise me considering how many times he's decided to do the high roll twist.
Honestly, in this kind of mode, you can't blame any player for that. Like, if you can survive another hit every single time, and you have the means to do so, do it.
Yeah, especially with, it's funny because you think, oh, hidden health, that's not too bad, and you don't realize how crazy not being able to see your health is until you can't see your health.
I just treat it as Oko. Oh, that's right. chessjerk went up from here and got trapped by those traps, and then immediately I had to up and get out of here. So now he did the smarter thing. He went from the left side. I don't know if that's smarter. Either way, he got through it. That's what matters.
Yeah, wouldn't it be crazy if you had to get through that room to get to the ladder?
It wouldn't be too crazy with these settings.
I mean, true.
If Fred put this as Oko, that's it. It's gone. It's a banana.
That's a tropical paradise in level 6. Not one, but both of our favorite fruity objects sitting in level 6, happily awaiting their rest of their magical breakfast room companions.
So Goma is clipping his toes.
How does Goma hold a pair of toenail clippers? Actually, don't answer.
The whiz ropes help out, you know.
Oh, okay.
So Crim, I believe, is back in 5. Yeah, I'm looking where the color is. So he's probably going to stumble across that any key, which will bring all of his key troubles away. And I don't think he'll have any worry going into 8.
Well, the worry going into 8 is this room you see chessjerk in right now is, without the ladder, this is the only way to make progress in 8. And chessjerk put in a potion to use, using it to get back up to a full amount of health, and gets lucky and kills the primary Patrite So now it is just a compact little orbital of doom as opposed to an expanding orbiter of doom. Finding the compass off that Patrick isn't the worst thing in the world in this situation, because it's one less room you have to kill for a potential floor drop, because you know Triforce is the floor drop in that room.
Right. I'm trying to think. Do you know where is the closest blue ring shop right now? For Crimson?
The only one I know of is the one that's up on Death Mountain right now.
Oh dear. I don't see Crimson going all the way up there to prepare for that Patrick fight, but we don't even know it's innate. It's a good chance, but we just don't know.
Right, it wouldn't surprise me after this 5 when Crim finds the any key. Like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he went to the fairy fountain in the Dead Woods, and there's a heart container on the floor in 8 for chessjerk. Wouldn't surprise me if he went to the fairy fountain in the Dead Woods, got the refill, and did the save and go back to start thing, and then go into 7 on full health.
That would be an interesting play, but if from the start screen, 8 and 7 are almost equal distance apart.
Right, and then the question, of course, becomes, which of these do you want to deal with more? The Patra that you know is coming, or all of the Wizrobes that are in level 7?
One Patra versus multi-Wiz. I'd go with the Patra.
Yeah, I would too.
So a new staircase for chessjerk. Oh, it's lovely.
Well, I mean, at least CJ is staying on brand.
Just imagine we find a third heart in 8.
I mean,
That'd be terrible.
all heart containers is my favorite way to play level 8.
Second quest 8 specifically.
Crim, pick up the bomb upgrade, actually. Not a bad choice, considering you're probably not going to go back and pick up that blue ring on Death Mountain, so it's a good use of your money.
I would say so. I agree with this decision.
So, Crim, when you go back and watch that, you go ahead and clip that audio. Crystal Saver agreed with the decision you made.
There's many things I agree with what Crim did and chessjerk did.
Oh yeah, I know, but I'm going to throw shade anyway because I can.
Okay. So chessjerk found staircase number 1900-815.
And unfortunately not the one he needed.
So he just has to find staircase number 900-816. Instead, he finds a useless bait block, so he knows he doesn't have to get meat. That's always good to know.
I mean, it makes sense it would be a useless meat block. How do you feed a hand?
So the thing in the Adams family doesn't exist?
I mean, does Thing eat?
I don't know, does he? I thought he did.
Also, Yalsarek in chat with the best answer. Quote, ham-fisted. That's the right answer right there.
Hey, Crim found his A key with 1 key left. He must be both happy and very sad. He's happy that he doesn't have to worry about it anymore. chessjerk is actually more miserable that level 8 had all the red items and not the ones he wants. So right now, I think it's on to 7.
Which I believe I said when we were looking for 2, when asked what I want, quote, recorder block 2 with the recorder buried deep in 7.
So basically, if the recorder is in 7, which it is probably, and 2 is under the lake, which it is probably, you're going to get run down by a lot of folks.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I know the drive distance between Crim's house and mine. I've done that drive before, so the only saving grace I have is if Crim leaves immediately after this race, I'll be at work, so he'll have to come figure out where I'm at.
So Crim with his any key going back into 1, not a bad play. He knows he could just pass through all those key doors finally and see what he missed. But
Yeah.
bad news is he's still gonna find the item is ladder block.
No, he's gonna, worse news, he's gonna find the
Oh.
book.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so CJ now in what we presume to be the correct dungeon, unless for some reason, now here's the best part, okay, what if the ladder is in 7 and the recorder's back in the ladder blocked 4?
Why does that feel more likely all of a sudden?
Crim, a frame away from picking up the book, and decides he does not need any reading material and is going to make his way to greener pastures.
So you're saying he's headed to 8 if it's greener?
Well, he's not up Aing here, so that tells me he is going to 8.
And chessjerk was created with those. What was it? Was that 8 blue wizrobes or was that 5 blue wizrobes? Either way,
A lot.
Too much, yes.
Any number of blue wizrobes is too many blue wizrobes. But Crim is going to go back into that level 8, and as suspected, is going to go in with the full complement of hearts, courtesy of the Fairy Fountain. And this Patra is an interesting kill because not necessarily the Patra itself, because an expanding Patra is really easy to understand and deal with. It's interesting because of the fact that it's in the room with the shooters.
Yeah, if you can get if you can kill it from the middle like Crimson did, basically the statues will stop shooting at you. The problem is you have to deal with Patra's orbitals. And Crimson just knocked it out like instantly with that wand. He doesn't have the fire to slow him down or hit him by accident, so he just stands in the middle and says, "Come over here, I'm obliterating you."
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the best Patra kills I've seen, especially in a shooter. I'm just like, nope, I'm just going to hit a couple buttons and you're going to die, and there's not a darn thing you're going to do about it. Oh, that is a, pardon the pun here, extremely timely clock for chessjerk, as this is not a fun room.
No, it is not. Red bubbles, there is a blue, but the red bubbles, blue wizrobes, nope. And an old guy says, "Won't you be my Valentine? Here's my heart container. Wait a minute, he stole yours."
I mean, I suppose being "Won't you be my Valentine" is better than "Won't you be my neighbor."
I suppose. Well, I don't know about that one.
I mean, Crim is going to find a heart container here on the floor in 8, and we've got reverse control bubbles.
I saw that. Yeah, yuck. So now the worst case scenario. I mean, chessjerk really didn't have too much trouble with the red bubbles, but once they get to 9, we don't know how many red bubble rooms there's going to be without any blues.
Yeah, and that's always an interesting conundrum to be in. Yeah, and chessjerk opting to give away some heart containers there in the Leave Your Life or Bombs room. So he did have 9. He's now down to 7.
With green tunic still, that might make 9 a little more difficult. We haven't seen too many wizrobes. I mean, definitely here we're seeing it at 8, while Crim does find his first heart container.
Thought about not taking it for a minute, then realized, oh wait, this seat has been awful. I'm going to grab that.
Yeah, for level 9, even though 9 is shorter, you always want to be prepared. It depends. Do you think your opponent is already in 9 trying to find Zelda, or found Zelda but trying to find the silvers? If you think so, you bail on a lot of things like heart containers, even though they would be very beneficial. But if you're not having a good time and you think the extra help is going to help, definitely get it. It's right there. Why not?
Yeah, no, and to answer your question, I absolutely think that both of these runners are under the impression that the other one is in 9, and they're just hoping to look over and like, oh, is that done? Is that done?
I hate that feeling so much. And then you don't see it for a while. It's like, what's going on? Are they right there and they just keep dying to Zelda's fire?
Yeah, and then I mean, I've had that happen before. His fire scuttles the enemy, and they get their HP shuffled.
Yes, I have found that out.
Yep. The good thing for Crim, he did find the third item here, so he's now out of level 8. He's going to save, so yeah, he's now going to be going into 7. So both of our runners are pretty much dead even when it comes to knowing where they're going. Chessjerk having the advantage of already having explored most of this atrocity.
Although Crim does not know about both items in 6, if I'm correct.
Correct.
So it's either 7, well, second quest 7 or first quest 6. I might have jumped to 6, to be honest, even though 7's a little closer. It's a tough call. So this Triforce room that Chessjerk is in, it has the Triforce on the floor already, but in second quest, it could be a staircase. And most likely is, so that's why he's clearing this room out right now. He's trying to be careful so he keeps his health together, but he gets a good clock. Punishes the wizard, opens the staircase, finds his ladder, goes to level 4. Oh my god. God dang it. They're not gonna like you, TG.
Like, I'm not saying anything more than that. Now the real troll is going to be if the recorder is the floor drop in 7.
Oh my god. Chessjerk did not see the second item, did he?
I don't remember if he did.
Dang. Yeah, I was looking, but I don't recall.
Yeah, because the only thing it could have been is a heart container. He had 9 when he went in. He spent 2 on the leave your life or bombs room. So yeah, no, he definitely didn't.
That's going to be very interesting. So right now, if Crim decides to clear out all of 7, oh god, I don't know if he will with these wizrubs, but if he does, and it turns out to be a recorder, we have a game either way right now. It could be in 4 or it could be in 7. Can't be anywhere else.
No, I mean, because, yeah, statistically, this is crazy. I love it.
This is a full clear C, basically, in the right order, but the right order is always the yuckiest dungeons to go into. And the wizrobe says, oh, Crim, go back to start.
So is that what do not pass go, do not collect $200 kind of moment?
Pretty much. That's when you go back, you take like 10 bombs and you throw them in their face. Except the Zols.
Is that Zol?
Yeah, it was a Zol. A little black jelly. Or medium black jelly.
Now I want black currant jam.
I got raspberry.
I got orange marmalade in the fridge. So good news for Crim, he has found at least one of the 45 bajillion staircases here in 7. Worst thing for Crim that he could do right now is pick up that compass. Because when you're looking for items, you're always going to fade the Triforce room. And there's the recorder on the floor in 4.
Well, so much for the big troll in 7. So Chessjerk, now that he has the recorder, is gonna get out of here, go straight into the recorder lake, blow it, and say a couple of nice words out loud.
Well, the good news is it takes you to unbeaten dungeons in their new location, so he got right to level 2.
It only took clearing everything else.
Yeah.
So watch, the Triforce is gonna be like a 1 room in. Please don't be 1 room in. Okay. Whew.
Well, it could still be 1 room in because he went left instead of up.
We don't jinx it.
So Crim did, in fact, pick up the compass, which, again, worst thing he could have done right there.
So now he's going to avoid it, because you think he's looking for staircases. He's not. Well, he's also looking for floor drops, though. But the Triforce room does take away a floor drop. So if I was chessjerk right now, and I finally found 2, and level 9 is right next door, once I get the Triforce, I'm out of here. I don't care what the 2 items are. I'm assuming at this point it's red ring and silvers. For some reason, they love to be in 9 recently.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree because it's right next door. It's literally the only thing you haven't found, unless, of course, silvers are on the floor in 7, which would suck.
Please don't anger our runners anymore. I don't want them to be angry.
They won't be angry with you.
Okay, I'll go with that.
So, not entirely sure where Crim is going here. He might be going to find a potion shop. And chessjerk has found a Triforce, so he's definitely going to find level 9.
He's gonna bring them Doritos over and start the hunt.
Well, now the question becomes, what flavor Doritos?
So many flavors ran through my mind, and all of them are like bleh.
So to answer the question in chat, why was picking up that compass bad? In this specific scenario, it was bad because the stairs that hold the item in... Oh, Chester got excited, saw Zelda's room for a second.
Debated so hard.
Yeah, totally debated there. No, the reason picking up the compass in 7 is bad for Crim in this particular situation is because he already has the Triforce out of 7 because he started it. So that's the last room he's going to go in the dungeon if he's looking for items, because he can confirm the floor drop is the Triforce. And since you're looking for a staircase, your brain is trained to think that there is no items in staircase rooms. So the only thing that you think in theory was that a floor drop would be in there. So you're going to avoid that room at all costs.
That sounds pretty accurate. You want to go into the rooms that you have not explored yet, so you know there's a potential for a staircase just like this one that Crimson just found, or if there's enemies, potential drop as well. So, TG, if I recall, very early on in the seed, I think you said Zelda was going to be like 2 rooms up. Did you not?
I was half right.
You were half. I took out the word.
It's a Pyrrhic victory, but it's still a victory. Just like that Wizrobe has a victory over Crim.
Here. So even though second quest level 9 is smaller than first quest level 9, they still have, I believe, 6 staircases each.
There's the 2 connected staircases, the one-way staircase, and the 2 items.
5 staircases.
Yep.
Oh wow, I always thought they had 6. Okay,
Nope.
never mind.
I mean, you would think they would have 6, but one of them is literally just a one-way, so...
True.
Yeah, it's like the Hotel California. You can show up, but you can never leave. Except in the Landmo says you can.
I'm kind of curious why chessjerk was leaving those 5 dice room, 5 on the die rooms alone if there was no shutters in there, because they could potentially be staircases. Unless he's looking for the easier ones, while at the same time scouting for Zelda and listening for the word Ganon. Which, who knows if Ganon's required right now. Both of these players know, because they saw Patra in Ganon's room, that Zelda could be in any room. So, for all we know, chessjerk right now thinks he can just walk right into a room and just find her. After seeing Zelda's room, finally, empty.
I mean, that's perfectly understandable. But, hey, it was definitely funny. You could definitely see, even in the Link sprite, you could see the reaction of, oh wait, that's Zelda's room. Crim chasing after a blue bubble to get his controls back in working order, and is going to go down into a basement. chessjerk also going to go ahead and go into a basement and find himself on the left side of the pigsty.
So far, chessjerk has scouted to right. He's going to left, while Crimson is once again going away from the Triforce room in level 7, as chessjerk takes him to death So back to level 9 we go. There is a fairy fountain nearby, but both these players don't know where each other is, so do you risk that, 30-40 seconds to get a free refill so you can survive better, or do you just run in and pray that you don't get hit as much, and perhaps force fairy, and not stab it?
If I'm chessjerk, I am fully on the I'm going to try and find Silvers and Ganon playthrough here, because he still has a blue potion in his back pocket. Crim is not going to be able to get there because, interesting little tidbit about Second Quest level 7 is, in the vanilla game, there's no actual bomb walls at this level. So the way the randomizer will work is, unless it generates a seed or a bomb wall is absolutely necessary, there will be no bomb walls into Q7.
Crim gets that same nice clock in the same room that chessjerk had it in. Apparently this wizard room was forced because you were locked on all sides. So that clock was nice to have. But now, would you like to be my Valentine?
Yeah. The unfortunate thing for Crim is he also got cursed by Zbubbles, so he's going to have to go and re-get his controls back in working order. The good thing for Crim is that bomb upgrade he picked up back in 5 is allowing him to keep his 9 hearts, whereas chessjerk had to spend 2 hearts because he didn't want to give up the bombs.
Normally, I would say you would never, ever want to do that, but in this case, I could make an exception. But not hug the wizards.
But they're so soft and cuddly.
They're ectoplasm and other gooey things.
So you're
Wait,
saying
those are ghosts.
So you're saying a wizard was made of an oobleck?
Sure, I guess. I don't know what an oobleck is, but sure.
Basically, an oobleck is a mixture of, I believe it's cornstarch and water, or basically it's some weird thing that is a solid and a liquid at the same time. Basically, it's a non-Newtonian liquid.
Gotcha. So chessjerk is taking that refill. He said enough's enough. I need to survive in there if I want to do anything quickly.
I mean, survival's probably a good thing.
Yeah, both of these runners, they're not going to have enough time for a blue ring anymore. Then it's all the way up in Death Mountain, so... Well, Crim found the heart container in level 7. So he just now knows he has to find a staircase item, which Triforce Room does have.
Yep. He will eventually make his way there, considering he doesn't have much left of the map. And the other thing to consider with chessjerk leaving 7 or leaving 9 to go and go to the fairy fountain, he also got reverse control.
Yeah, that would be a good reason to go out there.
Because I would much rather reverse control in the overworld with moblins and tektites than reverse control in level 9 with wizrobes and pancakes.
So chessjerk at the bottom left of level 9 has found Ganon, but can't do anything about it because we don't have the silver arrows yet. But what was strange to me was when he entered the room did not turn dark. It was lighted up the whole time until Ganon showed up.
Interesting.
So where could the girl be? I'm assuming she has to be either here, which is right above Ganon, or in one of the ears.
No, she's there. Right above Ganon.
Okay, kill the piggy. Get the girl.
And Crim has come to the realization that the Triforce Room is the one he needs to go to.
Oh, a wizard pug.
Or a Zolhog.
So much love is going on in this seed.
Now the Zol, that is the sticky ectoplasmic goo you were talking about.
Just pretend... Just throw a Zol at a wizard, see what happens.
I mean, unless we just confirm that wizrobes are just 3 Zols in a trench coat.
I'll go with it.
Cool, that's my new headcanon. Wizrobes are just 3 Zols in a trench coat.
Oh, look. Oh, dear God, those wizrobes are on shot with every move that chessjerk makes out here in level 9.
Oh, that's a beautiful clock there for Crim in that room. Gonna go ahead and get himself a ladder here. Sometimes clocks show up at exactly when you need them. Other times it's the first drop of a wall master room, and you end up getting hit right on.
And he had to make sure he avoided touching that Triforce, although that was kind of dangerously close. So he can pick up this ladder. And why are you still here, Crim? I guess you want a full health.
Yeah, but you're gonna pick up the Triforce and full health yourself. I don't hate that play.
No, that's good. I'm good with that. So now he has to get to level 4, which is just a straight shot down from here.
Yeah, and the good thing for Crim is 4 is a lot closer to him than 6 is. Because digging 6 in this scenario would be bad.
Mm-hmm. Crim gets out of the level immediately treated with a fairy.
Oh, but of course.
So all those rooms that chessjerk was trying to avoid looking for a princess, such as this the five on the die room, he's going back to, probably marked it down and says, this is a potential staircase. Now that I know what cannon's required, I gotta revisit all these guys and see if the silvers are here. Which, in this case, the room does not.
Right, see, I find that interesting because even though you don't know if Ganon and Zelda are required, I'm going in under the impression that I'm looking for free Zelda at the same time. Ganon is always required in my mind, so I'm always going to try and push every staircase. Yes, that room was not necessarily worse, but sometimes you're going to have bad rooms. Me personally, I'm in the container of if I haven't seen Zelda or Ganon's room, I'm searching up and I'm finding every staircase I can get my hands on.
For me, if it's free enough, I'll do it. Because even if you don't find items, you could find a staircase that routes your whole entire dungeon much, much better than a straight shot from the very beginning. And CrimsonAvix has found his recorder just lying on the floor. Please do not die. Thank you.
He did not die. DJ found the silvers.
So both runners finding a very, very key item that they need in order to continue progression in the seed. However, chessjerk, well, outside of a really bad Ganon fight, this might already be over. He does have a blue potion on hand in case he needs to use it, which since he up and aid, he's immediately going to use it. So, bear a bad fight, we'll see. And Crimson's going to find his level 2 underneath the lake, Burned Witch. And once again, the room did not go dark beforehand.
Maybe a thing with the walk-through wall.
Maybe.
So yeah, unfortunately for our runners, and fortunately for us, this is not a 0 HP Ganon. So CJ is under the has to deal with hidden health, and 2 Ganon hugs is going to take him out. So far, though, he does have a pretty good stun lock and is going to take down the pig with no issue. And Zelda's right there, so that's going to be.
And just one room up, you'll find the girl, ladder blocked in this case.
Which we did call as well.
Or you could have gone to the right. So get your GGs out in chat for chessjerk finishing in an official SRL time of 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 29 seconds. What a race. It all came down to that silly, silly recorder.
Yeah, that was definitely a thing. And it's always fun in a race like this because we've seen a lot of races in this tournament where you've walked in the night and hit, oops, there's Zelda. And then you have races like this where it's something completely different, where both runners ran into the same issues, and it became a thing of who routed what. And chessjerk routed 7 before Crim did, and that was really the big difference here. And to me, from a race perspective, these races are much more fun because, even with chessjerk in 9 and Crim finding the ladder, without finding the silver arrows, it's still, there was still that potential of, hey, this could be an upset.
Right, in level 9, whether it's first quest, second quest, or shapes, if it's an item hunt inside of there, all it takes is one goes left, one goes up scenario. And then you could take staircases and who knows where you'll end.
That is true, but we do know that chessjerk has ended up here in the interview booth with us, so I accept any punishment you're willing to give me, sir, but good game.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing tonight, sir?
TG.
Don't watch the playback of this chess jerk. I'm sorry, I tried to stop him.
I'm going to watch this back 8 million times, and I'm going to enjoy it every single time. I'm sure.
Well, there are two things in particular then if you're going to watch this seed that you're going to have to be wary of. Number one is you're going to have to burn both of the witches, and number two, hashtag 3 Zols in a trench coat.
I'm sure that reference will make more sense after I watch the replay, but thank you.
It will. It will.
It will.
Fantastic.
So how do you think this
TG,
seed went?
what did you do? TG, what did you do? I mean, seriously, what did you do?
Well, what I did was I play a game of Fetch Quest, which I enjoy, and
Of course.
what better Fetch Quest than having to dig Second Quest 7 in the Triforce room for the ladder to get to 4 to the recorder so you can get to 2.
Yeah.
But
I was going
what
to sum up the seed, but I think you just did. that sums up the whole seed, I think.
But what I did is I made sure you guys didn't have Sprite Shuffle. I made sure you guys had a white sword. I mean, I did what I could.
Good. Yes. And you at least gave us, wood arrows came in handy, so it was a good starting item, relatively speaking. So can't blame you there. Dungeon palettes dungeon numbers were off again, but dungeon palettes were vanilla again. So
yeah, dungeon palettes vanilla, not shaped. So I mean, I did what I could.
You did okay, except for the whole, gotta dig Second Quest 7 for an item to dig Second Quest, or dig First Quest 4 for an item to finish the seed. But that's okay. That makes it more random. For the one recorder spot in First Quest Overworld. Oh, that'll never have a level win. Never happened.
So the funny part about that is about, I think, 25 minutes into the seed, we made a comment, and Saber's like, well, what do you want to see? I'm like, I want to see a recorder blocked level 2 and the recorder being in 7. Well, I was partially right.
Yeah. That was pretty close.
Yeah.
Suspiciously close, if I might add.
I amended it afterwards to ladder in 7, recorder in 4, but at the time...
Mm-hmm. At least the one heart start didn't feel as bad this time, because the overworld enemies were not shuffled, so that I intentionally avoided Lionels until as late as possible, so that was kind of nice. So I didn't really feel the whole lack of health until getting into 9 and suddenly, hey, there's Wizrobes everywhere. But, that is a thing.
They didn't help in 7 much either.
Yeah, no, not really. Red Ring would have been nice, but, who knows where it is. I'm assuming it's in 9 somewhere.
So are we.
It's gotta be. I didn't dig 2, and I didn't dig the ladder item, or the staircase item in 4, and the floor item in 7. But I'm missing a lot of hearts, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, floor item in 7 was a heart container. That's all we know.
All right.
But speaking of that, you brought up the next question I would ask is, I would be remiss if I didn't ask the king of heart containers. Leave your hearts or bombs in that 7. You left 2 hearts.
Yeah.
What's the thought process behind that?
Because I always run out of bombs in 9. That always seems to happen to me. So in my mind, I'm thinking, I want to keep the bombs. I mean, because it was Second Quest 9, maybe I should have done 1 and 1 and hedged my bets. But I don't know. Maybe in my mind, I'm thinking I have a 1 heart start. If I have a max of 8 or 9 or 7, probably doesn't matter. And I don't think it really mattered too much. I mean, shoutouts to finding Zelda's room, first room in 9, after going to refill my health. Oh, look, and it's room full of Wizrobes, so I have to up A. Yeah, of course. That's, whatever. It's fine. I mean, I already knew that she wasn't in the room because I saw Ganon, or I was thinking because I saw Ganon's room in, what, level? Was that level 7 too?
Patria in level 4.
Oh, level 4, rather, yeah. So. But yeah, required Ganon. Both seeds required Ganon. Both seeds 1 heart start. And this time there was reverse controls instead of slow on the red bubbles, so that was a thing.
Both seeds killable item.
Killable items, yeah.
Yeah. Have you killed your fair share of bombs yet?
Yeah, it killed a few more bombs this time, but never really ran into bomb problems. So that was nice. The bomb droppers were dropping tonight.
Yeah, they definitely were. Although I think the favorite quote that came out of this was from Chad, and it was, quote, "Well, rupees are in the fairy drop group."
Yes, they are. That they are. Oh, and item drops were not shuffled, so that was nice. It's been a while since I have had vanilla drops from enemies. That was a nice change of pace. And HP, I think boss HP was actually shuffled. I was confused by that because I took more than 3 hours to kill the blue Goma. That kind of surprised me. I thought it was vanilla HP all over the place, but I guess not.
That was the only thing. Heart Shuffle was also in play here.
Oh god, yeah. As soon as I saw the heart under the armor, 45 minutes in the seat, I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, that was my next question.
No.
You didn't figure that out till quite a while.
It was a long, yeah. I was really. It was in the back of my mind. I was really worried about it, and I'm thinking, it'll be fine. Just it's you're gonna find one heart per dungeon like you normally do, and just go about your day. And yeah, no, that didn't happen. But it's okay. It all worked out in the end, I think.
Yeah, and now you get to move on to even crazier things.
Yeah. What have I done?
Given Crim the reprieve he was asking for in the IRC.
He did ask for it. Yeah. Well, he asked for it yesterday too. It wasn't just today.
Yeah.
He wanted me to finish a little bit faster than an hour and a half, but he really wanted me to finish 25 minutes and just go. Yeah, let's just be done. So, but not if you're going to force me to dig Second Quest 7 for no reason, and then dig First Quest 4 beyond a ladder block for an item. That's not conducive to a fast seed.
Nope.
And full clear the overworld for a level that's a level that's it's easy, but you can't find it.
Crim just did what you did, left for a fairy fountain, and went to 9 with full health immediately into Zelda's Road.
Classic.
Yep.
I feel your pain. Yes, that was
the long pause. I'm pretty sure he was cursing my name. All of them he knows me by, my online name, my real name. Probably having his son do the same thing. Like, find PG and tell him he's awful.
Fantastic. I think we should ask your co-commentator who my potential next opponent is. I think he may know.
I do?
I don't know. Could be somebody. Possibly somebody I've played before? Nah, it couldn't be.
Well, I mean, technically I fit that category.
This is true.
I'll be honest, I don't have the spreadsheet in front of me. Sorry.
I think he's implying he's playing you.
It may be you. Well, it's up to Saber if he wants to face me again. I mean,
No.
He could just roll over for random effects. Like, yeah, I'm not facing that guy again. Psst. I beat him like 5 months ago. I don't need to do it again. And it was easy.
Ari whooped my butt last time, so no guarantee.
I've beaten Ari once, but it required bow and silvers and 9, and we both found one of them, the opposite one, and then I managed to find the other one 1 minute ahead of him. So that was, and then he's beaten me the other 2 times I faced him. So
yeah, I unfortunately 0-2 against random as well.
Well, I'm only 0-5 against Saber or something like that. So I'm due. Just give me one, Saber. Just one. Let me break the streak, and you can have the other 2, and we'll both go about our day. I'll be fine.
Okay.
Just go into 9, and then take a break for like half an hour, and we should be fine. Just the problem is you'll take a break, and then you'll still win. So that's you'll find a way. It's okay.
So speaking of finding things, Crim did find the silver arrow, so that's part 1 of the puzzle.
That is what I hear. I found them to be very useful.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Crim didn't pick up the book? Ah, for shame.
No,
I guess
he found the wand first.
Oh, yeah, okay. I guess that made a little more sense. I picked it up something, and I'm never going to find the wand.
Very next item is the wand.
Very next item. Of course. Oh, look, you're digging dungeons now. Have fun. Make sure you find everything else first.
Just, that's how this seed went.
And you have no idea how much I had to resist the urge to go burn and bomb the banana when I saw it on the floor. But I figured I was. I'm panicking, so I don't have time for memes. I'll save the memes for afterwards.
I mean, the initial meme of Nope TG is the worst did happen with the boomerang in level 9.
Yeah, I remember that. I was watching that stream. How many guys? That was like what, 3 years ago now? That was a while ago.
That was 3 years ago. Yeah, that was Zeb Getney 3 years ago.
Yep, classic.
So I mean, congratulations for continuing on here in the tournament.
Thank you.
Don't do too much scouting on your next opponent because well,
it ain't gonna help me. And in case anyone was curious, I did follow up on a comment I made previously about having the most games played in the tournament so far among everyone. That is true. Of course, being knocked into the bonus bracket in the first round kind of helps that. But I think I've played 2 more games than my closest competitor. So I just like playing games. What can I say?
There you go. I did you a favor.
Thank you.
exactly.
And I'm sure you'll do it again the next round too.
Yes, I'm going to let you continue onward.
Fantastic.
51.
Oh yeah.
Actually, is it 12 matches maximum? I forgot.
I don't even know. I
Too
counted
many.
it before, but it's I can't count that high. It's over 10. It's of course I can't count that high.
Hey, sometimes you got to get that fairy if you're on the
Yes,
top.
I know. And then I'll I'll hit it with a bomb and it'll go away. So that doesn't help either. I'm also thinking to myself, does the boomerang kill items too?
I don't know.
I thought about that, thinking that would be one reason to pick up the boomerang and killable items. I don't know if they kill items. See, I'm also thinking that, okay, if it does kill items, does it kill it if it hits an item on the way back? All right, Toaster says they do, so I believe him.
Yeah, that's disappointing though.
It is. That would be one savior for the banana in a killable item seed. Oh well. Maybe that should be a flag too. Banana doesn't kill items.
Killable items have 1 HP.
1 HP, right? so it stuns the items. Okay, great.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
stuns the items.
So the fairy stops moving or
The
whatever?
fairy stops moving and the rupee stops flashing, and yeah, so it'll be good.
Okay, Fred,
The clock stops ticking.
Yeah, the clock stops ticking.
I'm so down for that.
Oh man, that'd be beautiful.
It really would be, actually.
Yeah, we're inventing new flags right here in front of your eyes.
All
And
right,
if you've seen what Fred's been working on recently, these are much better than what he's been working on.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so because he's been streaming on streaming with Fred. So if you've never seen a coding with Fred seed, it's definitely worth the watch because it's like daytime soaps with all the drama. It's fantastic. But the new one of the new flag things coming out is fantastic. It really is.
I can't wait.
So my question is, how well do you keep track of time?
What is time? Does time matter? Does time have any meaning?
It will. It'll be in 2-minute intervals, as a matter of fact.
Oh, hey, there's the red ring.
Yay! Crim's gonna be happy to see.
I was in that room. I don't think. I think I was, at least. It was in the middle. It's in the middle of the map, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh wow, I was in that room. Oh man, I could have had the red ring.
You could have,
Man.
but you failed.
I failed. All right, undone. I'm going back. I'm going to get it.
Yeah, no. So the time thing is, like I said, he's been coding with it. So I'm not sure exactly what the mode is going to be called, but it shifts through different little variable sequences. So every 2 minutes, something new is on. Like for 2 minutes, everything you kill is guaranteed to drop an item. Or for 2 minutes, Oko is on. Or for 2 minutes, it's happy hour, which means infinite potion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does Zwinar have where you donate bits to make things happen? Is that a thing?
crowd control.
Crowd control.
Crowd control. That's it. I couldn't think of the term. Yes, crowd control.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't know if that would be related to that in any way. That donate bits to have Oko on for 1 minute or something.
Yeah, there is crowd control, so that is a thing.
Okay.
I know crowd control exists for Zelda 1, which by proxy means it could exist for the randomizer. But yeah, other things include the Any Bomb.
The Any Bomb.
Yes, the Any Bomb.
The Any Bomb. The Any Bomb.
The Any Bomb. Yeah. Oops, all bombs. Blackout being on. Blue light special is a good one where all prices are all shop prices are half off. And he's killing the banana. Of course.
Look at that banana. That is a handsome banana right there.
You know, I figured he was killing the banana because otherwise he would have forfeited already. Like I knew there had to be something here.
Well, he did demand in IRC that you talk the entire time. I think he wasn't going to forfeit no matter what. So
yeah, no, I guarantee that's what he was doing. Like as soon as he said that, I'm like, I know this is going on. He went with the banana. So with that, Crim has thoroughly peeled and made a banana split. And speaking of that, he has split for the final time and has an official SRL time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 51 seconds. And Crim in chat thanking chessjerk.
I expect his comment to be too slow.
Probably.
Well, Crim was gonna fight it out anyways, I would assume.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
He's like, oh, just one more dungeon dig.
I mean, if I had finished in 45 minutes and he hadn't even found the recorder yet, yeah, it may have been different then. But it's like, how did you dig that? Why did you dig Second Quest 7 first? Obviously, because I think the ladder was there. Duh.
I knew you wouldn't, obviously.
Yeah, I'm metagaming the whole thing. GG, Crim. I think he can hear me.
It's probably a speaker thing.
So, if you were metagaming the whole thing, you knew you had it no matter when you finished, right?
I'm horrible at metagaming. I try not to do it, but I do it on instinct. Rest assured, I did not dig Second Quest 7 for the ladder very early.
Neither did I.
Okay, good. I didn't think it's given how late we finished. That shouldn't be a surprise.
And I managed to full clear the overworld.
Same.
And then full clear level 7.
I don't think I full cleared level 7. I have 4 rooms left, so not quite full clear.
Yeah, I full cleared. I evidently didn't want to go up after that first staircase and, go right into where the ladder was. So I explored every other bit of level 7 first.
Yeah, that's true. I was in the ladder room really early. That is true. I never cleared the room though until an hour and 10 minutes.
Because the Triforce
because at that point that wasn't it. I had 1 heart and wood sword and there's 6 wizrobes in the room. I'm like, yeah, no, there's no way I'm clearing this room now. So
I mean, with white sword and 10 hearts, I still didn't want to clear the room. So.
Yeah.
I actually don't know how many hearts I had when I was in the room. By the way, turning off the beeping was apparently not needed for you because I didn't get any anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was invisible health.
Oh, yeah, well, okay. Yeah, I forgot that that's a thing, too. Oh, well. I think I've done invisible health once ever, so that didn't even occur to me.
So I do want to say one thing, though. I am extremely proud of myself. I pretty much full cleared this entire seed with the exception of both boomerangs.
Both in 6.
Congratulations.
So by
I didn't pick them up.
my views, that's a win.
That is a win.
I really wanted to see what you would have done had you started with wooden boomerang grip.
Or if it had been fun percent and everything was a wooden boomerang. I was waiting for that one.
I mean, I probably would have just let you play the entire
3 seconds.
I mean, Oops All Bananas is fun.
Yeah, I'd just let CJ play the entire scene and sat around. I would have hug clipped and walked away. We played Mario Kart with my son or something.
You would HUD clip yourself into the B box. And it's like, yeah, no, I'll have a boomerang. What are you talking about? I have an onion knight in my B box.
Yeah. Well, the unfortunate thing was, when I saw you got done, I finally had my ladder and was on my way to level 2 and everything, and I'm like, man, I really have to finish out this seed. Only because of the Ganon sprite.
Yeah, that was a good reason to finish it off. I agree.
Yeah, I figured something was up when it's like, you want me to stay talking for the whole seed? It's like, okay, something's got to be going on here.
Actually, I was going to finish that regardless because I just immediately forfeit all my other Elite 8 matches, and I wasn't going to do it for this one, so
I think I heard him say,
I had to have a little small bit of pride.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally understandable.
I mean, I get that, and I do enjoy the merciless stabbing of the banana sprite. I'm honestly surprised you didn't find a way to work an 8-bit version of my face in there.
That's the next update.
Well, first of all, that would require me to do sprite editing, which I haven't really had the time for. And second of all, why would I put that on my EverDrive?
Immediately cursed EverDrive.
I don't know.
Would you rather have the banana on all the time?
No, that's why I only use it out like on very rare occasions.
Fair enough.
Also, Saber, you can do me a favor and just hit TG with a balloon next time.
I already told him for every day I have one extra balloon stored over here in this room. It's pretty large right now.
Hold on. 29 of them.
Nice. Bring them over.
That one balloon for every time you died?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought it was more with the way the Lionels were mistreating you.
Well, that did cost me a lot of time, but it didn't cost me 18 minutes. But if you want, we can double the ones that I took in level 9, so that would be 34 plus 12, so 46.
You know, honestly, at this point, I'd be okay with getting hit with 50 balloons in the face because that means we're all hanging out somewhere together and having a good time. So
Yay.
as far as I'm concerned, that's worth it.
I think he's okay with it, Krim. Go for it.
Yeah.
He also said he was okay with filling up those balloons with helium or hydrogen or gasoline or something.
Propane.
I worry with
Okay.
It may not be sanitary.
No, but
I'll keep that in mind.
It'll be a blast. Don't worry.
A blast. I get it.
Yeah, you both did an amazing job. A couple times, it was basically just you guys exchanging dungeons back and back until like you guys finally evened out, and then all of a sudden, like 7 was the.
Sudden 7 was all that was left.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I mean, I will admit, I wasn't 100% certain that 7 was the answer because I had 2 rooms uncleared in 4 that were not ladder blocked. So it was like a 99 point whatever % sure that my item was not on the floor in level 4 in those 2 rooms. So.
And then when you found a ladder in 7, you immediately bailed, and we were like, wait a minute, what if you left the recorder in 7?
Yeah, but I'm thinking I gotta get the hell out of 7. I'm tired of it.
Fair
I can't
enough.
take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I'm out. I will go dig 4 for 2 items, and if I still need an item, then I'll come back to 7. I played the odds. Sabermetrics, except for a recorder in 4, not the silvers in 9.
Yeah, I pretty much knew I was blocked until that item in 7, and then I get to the item room, I'm like, okay, it's recorder, I can go to level 2, and then I saw the ladder, I'm like, why?
Why?
I think I verbally said why.
Just why? No, why?
But I'm actually kind of glad that the ladder was there, because if the recorder would have been there, I would have dug 2, immediately went for the Triforce, and then found Zelda in the double moat room and just tried a little bit. I would have actually entered her room and just sat there and forfeit after that.
It wasn't. You could go straight to the other side. It was not.
Yeah, that's true.
There was a direct path to her, so that wasn't a real ladder block. It was a fake haha. You got to go around ladder block.
I actually considered just going into a room and forfeiting anyway, but yeah.
After hacking in a banana into your inventory and then whacking Zelda with a banana.
Why did I think of that?
Ideas for next time.
Yeah. Well, anyway, GG. CJ.
Yes, GG. Thank you very much.
Have fun going forward.
I'm sure I won't
will
face
have
Saber
fun.
again. Oh wait.
I will have fun watching everyone.
No, it was a pleasure. So again, GG's to both of you.
Thank you very much.
It was a very fun race to commentate and watch.
Yes, thank you for the commentary. I can't wait to go back and watch it and just not stop laughing because now I know what's coming. I can yell at myself. Go to 7. That's where the item is. No, don't go to 3. No, 7.
Yes, there was a lot of that, but at least I tried to keep TG under control a little bit.
That's pretty
And
funny.
he did for the most part, except for 3 souls in a trench coat.
Well, that's funny.
All right, so with that, again, a big shout out and thank you to both of our runners for putting on a fantastic race. If you have not done so already, please make sure you give both of them a follow. That'll be twitch.tv/CrimsonAvix. Just hit the exclamation point R button if you're in the Twitch chat. I don't have to spell it out. It's easier that way. There you go. But it's twitch.tv/CrimsonAvix and twitch.tv/chessjerk. If you have not followed them already, please do. Also, make sure you give our wonderful support staff behind the scenes some love as well, because without them, we don't have a restream to talk about. We don't have the lovely items. You know who has what and where it is. So please give a shout out to our restreamer behind the scenes. That would be Gary and Old Wolf, and our tracker behind the scenes, Pro Infernape. If you so desire, if you're going to follow one of the 2 commentators, definitely give my co-commentator, Crystal Saver, a follow. It is absolutely worth it to give him a follow, because if you like Zelda and you like Zelda to the extreme, then that would be what this gentleman does right there. If you like playing games and not being able to see what you're playing and still beating them faster than most people can with sight, you also want to go ahead and give him a follow. It's fantastically